herd immunity is when we get enough of the population with protection from coronavirus that essentially the virus stops in its tracks, that there's nowhere for the virus to spread anymore. It's estimated that we probably need upwards of 70%, perhaps more like 80 to 85% of the American public who have immunity, either through infection and recovery from coronavirus or through vaccination. Vaccination is definitely the better way to go because then you don't have the potential of being severely ill if you were to get coronavirus. And also we believe that getting the vaccine gives you longer lasting and better protection than acquiring the infection and the recovering from it. Is it possible that we get to herd immunity? I certainly hope so. I don't think, though, that we're going to reach herd immunity in 2021. And that's because we have a lot of children who are not able to be vaccinated. And we also have 30% of the public that say that they're not willing to get the vaccine for a number of reasons. And so to get to that perhaps 80% threshold this year without children, many children being eligible, seems very difficult. And if we do not reach herd immunity, it doesn't mean that we're going to continue to see a raging pandemic. Probably what's going to happen is as vaccination rates increase, as immunity builds in the population, we're going to see the infection rates dramatically drop. But we're still going to see outbreaks of coronavirus, especially in parts of the country that don't have a high vaccination rate and high rate of protection in their community. And what I fear is that we're going to have a good summer, that's the good part, but then come the fall, come the winter, we could see resurgences of coronavirus, especially because there are variants that are popping up here in the US and all around the world. And the worst case scenario is if these variants evade the protection of the vaccines that we have, and we may always be playing whack-a-mole with trying to catch up to these new developing variants. I think there are already a lot of businesses that are listening to what their customers and employees want, which is to feel safe. You can imagine that many businesses are eager to get back to 100% capacity, but they're not able to do that without some type of proof of vaccination. Let's say a restaurant currently has spacing rules and therefore is not able to be full capacity indoors. But if everybody who's dining is fully vaccinated and the employees are fully vaccinated, first of all, that protects everyone, but that also may allow them to come back to full capacity sooner. Or a gym that used to have indoor exercise classes that were high intensity in crowded, packed areas, probably not safe to do that in a group with a lot of people who are unvaccinated, but a group that's fully vaccinated is able to resume that kind of indoor setting. Once again, cruises, airplanes, there could be all kinds of positive incentives that businesses would want. For example, a long-haul flight, maybe people don't need to be wearing masks if everybody on that flight is fully vaccinated. And so I think that there will be increased incentives, positive incentives by businesses that will specifically cater to the individuals, to their customers who already want a safe environment around other fully vaccinated individuals. That could then add an additional incentive to others to want to be vaccinated. Another way for us to see this too is that, in a sense, vaccines are an easy pass. They're a carpool lane or a TSA pre-check, if you want, whatever other analogy, in that you're still able to access all the other services without a vaccine, but you may need to go through additional screening processes. For example, if you're not vaccinated, maybe you have to go through symptom checking and testing and quarantining and more testing in order to visit somewhere. But if you're fully vaccinated, maybe you can skip all these steps. An endemic virus is something that is with us, and we need to live with season after season. So think about the influenza virus. We know that there's such a thing as a seasonal flu. We know that it's going to be coming every winter. We get vaccinated. The vaccine every year changes in response to whatever strains we predict are going to come, but we're always chasing it. We know that it's something that we have to live with. For the immediate short term, the coronavirus that causes COVID-19 is probably going to be this type of virus, and that we're going to have to live with it. We try to reduce our risk of getting it. We get vaccinated to reduce our chance of contracting it and to reduce our chance of severe illness. But some people are still going to contract it. Some people are still going to die from it. People who are unvaccinated will have a higher risk than those who are vaccinated. It's something that we're going to have to live with for the short term. Unlike the flu, though, I actually think that there is a chance of us eradicating coronavirus and stopping COVID-19 in its tracks, but that really depends on all of us getting vaccinated.